Good morning, everyone. This is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I know it's been a little while since I posted a video, but I did have one ready to go. I sat here, I prepped, and I know those of you that do YouTube videos, you know that there's a lot into it. There's prepping and getting ready, and I did so good. I had it all prepped. I had everything done. I turned the camera on, did my 32-minute video, turned the camera off, and then went through the process of, or started the process of editing and exporting and importing and uploading and downloading, and it is quite a process to get a video up. But when I clicked on it, instead of hitting the play button or the record button for the video, I hit the photo button. So I had a photo of the very first, I had a photo of the end, and there was no video in between. So I thought it was something wrong with my camera. So, long process being short, it was user error, and I am so sorry. I am probably not the first person to do that, and probably won't be the last time, but just accidents do happen. But this time it was definitely user error. But what I went through in that video that I wanted to share was using things that we already have, going back to some of the basics, because I know when I started I didn't have a lot of stuff. So I had to figure out how to make what I need, or what I wanted to use. And you start watching videos and you see things on Pinterest and Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You see other artists and what they use, and you sit here and you try to figure it out. That's some of the basic process that I know the majority of us go through. And I'd like to share some of those things with you. One of the things that I did was I made, let's see if I can get some of these out. I made these little cards. And as you can see, they're made from, if you excuse I've got the light coming through the window first thing this morning. They're made from little small playing cards. And all I did was I attached paper to them. And then on the back side, I glued a flower or a little sticker of some sort. So now I've got a lot of these just little memo cards that I can stick in somewhere in my pockets. Now, of course, you can use regular size playing cards for these. And these I used the little small ones that I had. They were missing one, so. But what I did was I took regular paper, and I'm not sure you can see it, but there is a playing card that I have simply glued in. I did this on camera, so it's not on camera now. And all I'm doing is just going around and pressing in the sides so that I can come back in with a pair of scissors and simply cut around the edge, just like that. Now, we all know that the playing cards usually have rounded corners, and most of them are the small rounded corners. So I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile on the 1/4 inch. And let's see, did that even bend it down like this? Make sure I got to that edge. See, I didn't there. I can't cut a straight line, even just cutting along the edge. Alright, 1/4 inch, and I'm going to come in and chop off those corners just like that, so that now I can use it. I can put a sticker on here, I can glue a piece of paper on there, bring my dauber over. We'll just go around the edges like that. Do one side, do the other, because, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to glue this in, if I'm just going to stick it in a pocket. But this also gives me an edge that, you know, a side that I can journal on. Now, yes, I can see part of the card coming through, but that doesn't bother me. And then we'll do from here, let's see, move this out of the way for a moment. Come in with our stickers. Let's see what we got in here. There's a nice large one. I can put that right there on the back. Just like that. And grab my little piece of tape here. Stick that to the back like that. And then it peels off. Just want to make sure it fits right on there. And that's done. Nice, quick, simple. And I've got another little journaling card or you know, however I want to use it. Another thing that we can do is, and this was scrap paper, I simply put a paper clip on the back. Actually, this was a little bag. So I enclosed it with paper and just attached notebook paper, bits and pieces, added a bit of lace there, and because it is still thin, that'll fit in a pocket somewhere in my journal. So, you know, there's something else that we can do. What I did in here that I did show, but evidently I created this page. I was working on this page on camera. And of course, it's just a book page with a little flap there. But this part here will swing out, and the big piece of vellum, I simply glued it there. So now I've got a journaling page I can actually cover up, and this swings back into place. But notice what I used right there. Not sure if it's going to come into focus. That is just a snap. Yes, the regular kind of snaps like we use on clothes. Let's see, where did I had them up here? Ah, here we go. And I bought these years ago when I was still sewing and before my eyesight got bad. But there's 3 sizes of snap, so I have different sizes I can use. The back of it is very flat. And I use this in place of a brad here. Now, yes, I have brads. I've got tons of brads, but I don't really like using them because they leave the prongs on the back. I always feel I have to cover them up to make them secure. But this here, it lies flat. It's not going to come out. And it gives us that chance where we have the movement. So these, in the sewing section, not the crafts area, are great to use. Then what I started doing in our journal is I started putting lace in. I have a little piece here, and as we go through, it's not every page that has lace, but there's a touch here and there, like on the bottom of this page here, you know, so that it can be seen through. This here was some trim that I thought was really pretty, so I just added that along the edge. This here is the trim from the curtain that I have in my window. And I like the fact that the loops hang over so you can see it on the other side. I have some lace along the side there. And it's just as I go through, there's some there. And this I didn't have enough of this to fit top to bottom. But it doesn't matter. Yep, just enough to accent the page. I know a lot of you remember the gold stuff here from Christmas ribbon. I just trimmed off the wire edges. And lace doesn't have to always be, along the bottom or along the sides. We can add it to the top too. We can add lace like to the bottom of a tag. The one thing I have learned with using lace, if you're putting it in your journal, is it takes time. It's not as quick and easy as sitting here doing a full page, because you have to allow time for the lace, the glue to dry, so that your pages don't get stuck together. Oh, believe me, I've gone through that, where my pages got stuck and it was horrid. Now, when I use lace, I've got 3 different areas right here at my desk that I've got lace pieces, because I use lace in different ways. My first thing I go to is my lace box, and as you can see, I've been plundering through it, so it doesn't close very well right now. And I've got big pieces, I've got small pieces or widths. I've got where I can cut it to use it as appliques, trims. So I can reach in here and pull, basically just about anything I've got. And I've got quite a lot of colors of lace in here. But this is my first pull box. Now when I use it, and you can see it's very hard to close. Well, you actually have to smush it down. But we're always left with these little pieces, and I call them snippets. And then I take all my snippets when I'm done, which usually isn't very much, and they go in my little snippet drawer. I know the drawer isn't very big, but I am constantly pulling from here. And this probably should go in the other one, but it was laying after a project, so it went in here. And as you can see, you got to squish it down to make the drawer fit back in. And if I'm actually doing the snippets, I'll make them and also put those in the drawer. Another area I have is this one. Now, there's some of that trim that I used. I have a big piece of doily. And I'll explain in a moment why all these are in here. I have little appliques. Those are little other doilies. I have flowers. I have very tiny hand crochet doilies. More appliques in here. And this is mainly what this drawer is. This is appliques and doilies and stuff that I can pull from that are already done. And yes, I have this very, very nice piece of lace that was gifted to me by a very dear friend. So I keep it in here because I use it as an applique. See if I can find it. I mean, it is beautiful lace. And I have other appliques in here, but this is mainly my applique and doily drawer. And it's not very big because I don't have very much. I mean, it's not an exorbitant amount. But this is where I put it, and this is where I pull from. These are little minute paper doilies. I keep those in there. And those, other than these 3 places, I have my tonnage, for lack of a better term, of lace that are the plastic 3-drawer units like we get it at Walmart and Target. I've got them stacked one on top of another. So I've got 2 of them that sit behind me that have the yardages in them and the big amounts. Because I do use, quite a bit. Another thing I found, and another area that we can shop at besides home, or to increase what we have at home. My local library has a book sale twice a year, and I love going there. I try to be there on the first day, which is usually packed, so we have to get there really, really early. But I'll find old books. The first place I go to is the gardening section. I look for gardening books, botanicals, anything of the old nature that has the hand-drawn colored pictures in it. I'll go through and look at old reference books, anything that's really, really old, or, that's not brand new. One of the things I found was this gardening book. Now, of course, I've got tons of book pages. Well, not tons, but that's a fair amount. But when I'm looking at the page, you may notice, oh, well, Shelby, there's not much writing on it. No, there's not, but then I've got all of this that I can use for something else, especially backing, see if I can get my card up, the little playing cards. So I've got all of this. I've got the front and back fly sheets. The other part's actually still attached to the cover, which is in my cover bin, which is sitting over there. But also, what that book had was, look at the illustrated letters with the flowers and then the writing. There were strips. This is going to be great if I, fussy cut it or even fussy tear it out. Then it's got beautiful pictures. Some of these I've left the side on because I want to use them as flip outs. You put those in, flip them out, give you journaling space. And I notice that it is blank on each of the illustrations, but on these, there's words on the back. And I can also use these as flip outs or just glue them straight to the page. But these pictures are gorgeous. I fell in love with them. And then on the back of one, this one I actually had to cut off a little bit because, no, it wasn't that one. Where is it? It was one of these in here. Or maybe I've already used it. But it had a garden plan on the back of it, which I thought was so interesting. I think I already, nope, there it is. Which I think, is really interesting. And that would definitely be a boost to one of my pages. Or I could use it for just the flower. So I know those of us that we shop online and we shop in the stores and all, and when we go to look for things like this, they're a little on the pricey side to buy, but go to your local library, check and see when they have their book sale, because the majority of them do. And it's another great place to get not only reference material, but material to use in your junk journal. I set this over there. I'm playing musical supplies this morning. Now those strips at the end of the page, like I said, I saved them. And they're different widths and different sizes and stuff. But all I did was I took my playing card, just like this. Very simple. And if you got the bigger playing cards, use them. You can use them as they are. You can glue them onto paper. I think this one I'm going to go on this side. And I'm just going to line it up there as best as possible. The paper may not cover it exactly, but that's okay. And then once I get it down, I come in and I fold it along. Well, that didn't actually fold very good, did it? No, it moved because of the glue. But that's okay. I get here, straighten that out, and then I'm going to come in here and glue this side. Now, I can trim that off there, but I think with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it dry as is. And then I'm going to use this as a flip out on a page. So I can glue this part down. Or I can even have it as a little book that would open up as a tuck. But I've got the sturdiness with that playing card in there that if I want to use it as a little note area, it gives me the backing to write on. You know, that firmness that we need. So, and just taking us back to some of the basics this morning. Hopefully I didn't press the photo button, I actually pressed the record button. So, there we go. I think that turned out really cute. Definitely gonna have to find a place for it. It's got to go in my journal. And one thing I've found is that sometimes I like making the stuff to go in more than working in my journal at the time. I'm just going to clip these strips here together. Another thing I like hanging on to is cardboard. Not a lot of it, you know, just a piece here or there. And you know, this, when you turn on the side, this is the inside section. And all I did was I came in with my water bottle and holding it over the trash can because it will drip. I spritzed and got one side wet. And then just give it, you know, a minute or two to soak in, and then it will peel off. And you're left with this nice corrugated piece. And as you can see, I've torn a corner off. And what I do is, now I'm not going to do it to this one, but I do have the piece ready for maybe the next one. I'll glue this like to the cover and then come in with modeling paste so that it gives that three-dimensional, you know, look to it. So I try to have at least, right now, yes, this is the only piece I have, but you don't need a lot. You know, a little piece here and there for when we use, so that we have it when we need it. Now, we all have stencils now, or most of us have stencils. But when I started, the only stencils I had were the ones my kids had. So there was a stencil of an elephant, there was balls and things like that, mainly toys and animals, which really didn't work in my journals. At least I didn't think they did at the time. And stenciling was just getting started back then, so there wasn't really a whole lot other than the alphabets and numbers, you know, basic things. And someone told me about doilies. Now, the ones that I use for stenciling, I keep in a little, my words are failing me this morning, a photo sleeve. You see it goes into a photo book. And I keep the ones that I use in here, or if I got several and I see one that I may want to use, I'll put it in here. I really like looking metallic ones because they seem to last a bit longer, and you can actually clean these off. Just have to be careful. But as you can see, other ones I've used, I keep in here. Just careful putting them in and out. And I use these as stencils. Yes, I have stencils now, but these are quick and easy to go through, and they don't cost a lot. You know, pennies per, and you get a lot of use out of them. I mean, yes, you're getting a pack of 50 to 100. You may only be able to use one of them, you know, 2 or 3 times before you need to, you know, switch it out. But still, that's a lot of bang for your money. So, I hope that you have liked what I've shared with you today. Getting back to some of the basics, using what we have, instead of, you know, constantly having, oh, well, so-and-so use this, or they use that, and got to go out and buy it. Because, yes, during the pandemic, we had no other choice but to get our supplies online. And if you're like me, I sort of panicked and overbought. And yes, it's been 3 years, but I still have stuff that I bought back then. I have stuff that I bought years ago, and it's time for us to use what we have. And if we don't have it, then let's try making what we need. Getting back to basics. That's the main thing. So I hope you have enjoyed what I've shared with you today. If you do, hit that like button, because that like button is so important to those of us on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so you'll be notified of upcoming videos. I know within the next 1 or 2 videos, I want to bring out my vellum and tracing paper, and let's explore what we can make with those and how we can use those in our journals. So if you're interested, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified the moment that video goes up. So I will see you soon. Bye, guys.